Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thank you again for joining us for Lie to Yourself, Don't Lie to Me, Real Talk with Miss Lady J. Thank you for joining us again on this Friday night. I appreciate y'all for coming in. Usually we have my friend Crystle, but this evening she's not here with us, so we have a different guest. Y'all have seen him before, Mr. LaLouche. I always say his name wrong, but come on in, Mr. LaLouche. Did I say it right this time at least?
You were 94% right. That was
94%. I'm getting better.
yes. You're
That means
getting
I'm
better.
getting
And I
better. That
appreciate
means
it.
I'm
And I
getting better with
appreciate
it. I'm getting better with it. I'm excited. How was your
it.
week?
Busy, really busy week. We launched a new show on Tuesday. The Bag Show, and that's with partner Metro Esports. So it's the Blur Proof Gaming Show. It's all about gaming news and video game talk. It's a fun show. You should, anybody watching, if you're a gamer, you should definitely check it out. We launched that on Tuesday, and then last night I did a midnight release stream of a new video game that came out called Dying Light. So, um, yeah, I had a little busy week.
I
Busy
feel
week.
like I know that game somehow. Dying Light. It sounds familiar. I think I know it. Like, I think if you describe it, like if we sit and we talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I know it. I know that game somehow. I know it. But we have a new show. What's
Yes, we
up,
do.
Jordan? Hey, how are you? Have a great show. Thanks.
Hmm.
So we've got something new to Blurred Approved Entertainment.
Yeah. Well, that is not Blurproof. That's Blurproof Gaming. Blurproof Gaming is its own entity in itself. I mean, but it's
Oh,
still part of the Blurproof like enterprise. But yeah, that's the second business that we're launching.
well, since that's second business, is there a way to get people? How do we get people to go there? Do they still go to Blurred Approved Entertainment, or do they
Yes,
go somewhere different?
you go to Blurproof Entertainment, but you also can go to Blurproof Gaming directly, and we're on everything. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. You go there, you can find us.
Okay, okay, awesome. I want to make sure we do that.
Hmm.
So let's get that out of the way. How do we find everybody Blurred Approved? So, Lelouch, how do we find you in general and on Blurred Approved?
I still did not remember to load that into the.
Oh
I'm
my
going.
gosh.
I'm typing
Really,
it in
sir?
now. Typing it in now, but I'll show it by the end of the show. But
By the end of the
uh,
show, he's going to show us how to reach him. Okay.
yeah,
We're going to
but
talk about how to
it's
reach me since he doesn't like for people to reach him.
Lelouch.me on Instagram. That's where I'm at. You can find me.
So for me, y'all know me. TikTok is taking over my brain like
All right.
ridiculously. I am Lady J. Uh, yep.
Nope,
I
not
am
not
Lady
that one.
J 1111 on TikTok. For my business pages, you have me on Instagram, which is _J's _decadent _delights. Facebook is just Decadent Delights, J's Decadent Delights. And then I have a YouTube page, which is Lady J, which I'm still trying to kind of like get used to kind of throwing that out there.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm happy with that. If you need it.
so
Talk about it later. Hmm.
you said what?
So happy with that if you need it, but yeah, we can talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that
Hmm.
later. So normally, as you guys know, hey y'all, how are y'all? Y'all know usually I have Crystle here with me, but tonight Crystle had some personal issues that she had to deal with. And so,
Sending all the good vibes to
oh,
Crystal
Black
today.
Russian, what's up? Um, I have my friend Lelouch with me, and I always say his name incorrectly. It's okay.
And
He
you,
still
I mean,
loves me,
guilty.
even though I
Oh,
say it
perfect right
incorrectly.
there. You
But
got it. You got it. You
we
got it.
also have a special guest this evening. And if we could bring her in, if we could bring Jamie in this evening, we have a special guest tonight that's going to join us. Hey, lady, how are you?
Hi, how's everybody doing?
I'm good. How are you, sir? You living a life? Living the dream?
Jamie.
I'm
Oh,
talking to you.
yeah, she said sir, so I'm
Oh,
thinking
okay.
she's
Yeah.
Oh, it was
talking to
me.
you.
It was me. Oh,
Oh,
it was
you
me.
pulling some TikTok moves. You call her a sir? My God.
I didn't even catch the sir. I did
You're
like.
good. Don't worry about it.
Hmm. No, but I'm pretty good. It's a good day. I got a lot of good news today, so I'm happy to be here on the show.
Yay. I'm glad you are too. Sending good vibes to Chrissy. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So we have a special guest tonight. We have Jamie with us tonight. And Jamie, can you tell us a little bit about what you do? What is your business? What is your thing? What is your niche? What do you do? Where do you bring? What's going on with you? We want to know.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm the founder and CEO of the online publication Black Girl Nerds. Website is blackgirlnerds.com. You can find us on all of the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Black Girl Nerds. And I started the publication back in February of 2012. So we're 10 years old this month. Yeah, thank you. It's crazy that it's been that long. And we're a multimedia pop culture website. So we focus on gaming. We also focus on other areas of entertainment, such as comics, movies, television. We just recently covered Sundance this past January. We do op-ed stories that are specific to the Black experience. So we talk about mental health and talk about politics and socioeconomic issues that affect our community. So we talk about a little bit of everything, something that you would see in a magazine, but it's in the form of a website, which is blackgirlnerds.com. So I've been honored to be able to have done that and been doing that as my full-time job now for quite some time. It didn't start out that way, but for the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years now, it's been my full-time job, and I love it. It's been great.
Sheesh. Congratulations. Like, that's awesome. Like 10 years, that's a long time. You guys have been like really doing your thing.
Yeah. It's the time it doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. It really doesn't. And I've been having fun in the process. So when you're having fun and you enjoy what you do, the time just completely feels like it's passing you by. But yeah, it's been a great journey.
That really is amazing. Like, I mean, the longevity that you've had being around for 10 years and then getting to convert over to being able to do that full on, like that's a goal of mine personally. So like I know how hard of it is to strive to that. So gotta give your flowers on that. Kudos to you.
Facts.
Thank you.
That's on facts on facts on facts. Like it's not a lot of people out here that can be like, I've been doing this for 10 years and it's flourishing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that right there.
Tell her.
I mean,
I can't call you Cardi anymore. I guess I'll still call you Cardi. I'm sorry. That one's sticking. I like that one, Brody. I'm sorry.
And I can't take full credit. I mean, I'm blessed to have a team of incredible, talented freelancers that help this publication be sustainable. So I have writers, I have a team of editors, I have podcasters because we have a weekly podcast. And I have a TV journalists, I should say, plural, that create really great content on our YouTube channel. So I have a really great team of women and men that help, keep this ship going, and it's great. So I definitely can't take all the credit, but yeah, I've been blessed for sure.
No, and that makes sense, because like. If you have something, in my personal belief, if you have something that's successful, you can't say that you did it all by yourself, because it takes a team. It takes
a village.
It takes a village to really get things going where they are. Like you could try, but it's going to take you a long time. I believe, there's no I in team, right? They say that. So I really believe that. Like I really believe it really does take a team to help you get to greatness. And so I commend you. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Like everything you're talking about sounds like amazing. And I'm excited for you and your team. I am super excited and I can't wait to like go in. Where can we find you? Because I didn't get a chance to it's on there, but where can we find Jamie? Where can we find you and your team?
It's right there.
Yeah, so on social at Black Girl Nerds, on Twitter, also on Instagram, the same handle, Black Girl Nerds on Facebook, and blackgirlnerds.com is the website. The website is really where you get all of the content. Again, it's like a digital magazine, but the socials is where we play around, we have fun. We do, for example, we did Fancast Fridays. We post cosplay pictures of people in the blurred community. So we create these really fun memes and stuff on social media to keep people engaged. So you can definitely follow us there if you want to, be entertained while also being informed.
So Mr. Turner asked, what got you started? I was kind of curious. As you were talking, I was like, I want to know, like, what got you into this? Like, kind of like, what got you started to do this? Like, what got the ball rolling? Like, how did you come up with this? Was it just you? Was there something else? Was it like life-changing experience? Like, what got you into Black Girl Nerds? What got you into this space?
Yeah, the origin story. So February 1st, 2012, I actually Googled the term Black Girl Nerds and nothing came up on Google. When I did do a search term for Black Girl Nerds in Google Images, there were images of white women wearing glasses with black frames. So that's what Google thought a Black Girl Nerd looked like. So I had a little bit of blogging experience at that point, and I literally just opened up a blogger.com page and just used that term just so I can create an imprint in Google with just that term. And blackgirlnerds.com started off as just like a blog of my personal musings about geek culture, like blog in the sense of what the term blog initially meant, a personal diary, a personal web diary. We're not really a blog anymore. We're a website, but at the time it was just me and my personal, journey being a nerd. And then like within literally 48 hours after it was published on the web, a woman who actually is a published author reached out to me and was like, I want to write for your site. I was like, I can't pay you. But she's like, but I don't care. You are filling a void, and I really, your content speaks to me. And it just started to naturally, organically grow because more women were seeing themselves reflected in the content that was being produced. And there weren't any sites really at the time that was focusing on Black women in the geek fandom. So it kind of grew really fast. And it just became way bigger than what I could have ever expected. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this as a business. And it took a long time to get there because I honestly didn't think I was capable of running a business. But once I made that decision, I was like, okay, this has got some potential. So yeah, here we are today.
That's like an awesome, that's an awesome, what do you call it? I can't even think of the words, but that is an awesome story. That's an awesome build up to where you are at now. Good job. I'm excited for what you do. I'm excited to look into what you do and kind of research and see what you do. Because it sounds awesome. It sounds like God's plan versus my plan versus God's plan. Yeah.
Amen to that. Yeah.
That's
very true.
Yeah. I've seen some on Facebook. Like I never knew the story behind any of it. There's so many pages on social media, but I've seen some of your content and I like that. I follow you guys' page, but to have you here, and to actually get this here, how it became to be about, that's a dope feeling. I'm glad you're here.
Right.
I'm glad to be here and to really speak to the comment about my plan versus God's plan. That is so 100 because I was not wanting to be I didn't even think about blogging. My focus at the time when I created the blog, I was working for a Fortune 100 company and I was trying to get into marketing. And I applied. There's a podcast out there that I did years ago where I did an interview with someone and I applied at several jobs. I can't even tell you the amount of times that I applied, but it's in the high double digits. And got rejected at every turn. I mean, I even got a chance to fly out to corporate for 2 interviews twice. thinking, okay, they're flying me out. They're putting me in a hotel. I've got the position, and still didn't get the job. So, yeah, God was like, yeah, even though you want this one lane to go into as far as marketing goes, I'm going to stir you into another direction. So, yeah, everything happens for a reason. And when it is God's plan, it's everything is going to come naturally and organically, and it's going to come easy. It's not, I mean, it's not an easy process, trust me, but at the same time, when you're passionate about it, when you love it, and it is a part of his plan, then it's not as hard, it's not as challenging as you may think, if that makes sense.
It flows. It
flows. It flows.
It doesn't always flow the way we think it should flow. It flows. So yeah. I get it. I understand.
So I got a question for you, Jamie. Are there any like anime or shows in like the nerd culture world that like kind of influence you to make the content that you do?
That's a good question. I'm not an anime head. I recently have been watching some anime, but I'm not an anime person, so there hasn't been any particular shows that shaped me. My nerd or my fandom that shaped me in this subculture was really comic books. That's where I come from. So I grew up, comic book head. I grew up on X-Men as a kid. My mom used to drop my brother and I off at the comic book store, and just like the comic book staff members would be babysitting us. Like we would just be there all day reading comics. I even had like the trading cards of the different comics. So yeah, that was like my jam back in the day. And that's kind of what helped. That was the fandom that I was really attracted to. Yeah.
No, that speaks to me directly. Cause like, I mean, that's where I started my nerd journey too. My dad was a comic book head. He gave me some comics. Like one of the first things I ever read was the X-Men. And so, yeah, I'm right there with you. X-Men question: are you Team Scott or Team Logan? Just curious.
Oh, Team Logan all the way. Absolutely.
As it should be.
No, I need to know why.
Scott is good.
I'm not like a super comic book anime nerd, whatever it is, but I would like to know, because I know that much about comics. I know about Logan, and I know about who was it you said?
Cyclops.
Scott Summers, Cyclops.
Why'd you pick who you picked? I'm curious.
First of all, I had a low-key crush on Wolverine. I'm not even gonna lie. And I remember the 90s show. Yeah, it was the 90s show that did it. He was just very charismatic. He was interesting. He was compelling. And I just always liked it. And I always liked his relationship, even reading the comic books that he had with Jubilee. He kind of had this nice, like he had this side where even though he seemed like he was kind of rough around the edges, he also had this soft side to him. So very three-dimensional kind of character. Didn't really get that much from Scott Summers. He was kind of one. Yeah, kind of one.
Not gonna lie, low key, I agree with you. That's why I was curious. Like legit, no mess. That's why I was kind of wondering, because I was like, yo, like Wolverine was kind of like he was kind of smooth. Like he was like rough around the edges, but like Wolverine was like kind of smooth. Like I only watched like the movies. I didn't read the comics or whatever. But in his movies or whatever, he was like low key smooth, and it was like he was like rough around the edges, smooth. But yeah, I'm all with you. I'm on her side with that. Scott, the laser eye dude, he wasn't like that. He was like kind of cocky or whatever.
He's no goody two shoes. It was. You might as well just paint a flag on him, like you. I'm not a fan of that. I prefer Logan.
Too funny. Okay, so now that we have gotten to know a little bit more about Jamie and what she does and where y'all can find her, y'all go make sure y'all find her. Y'all go make sure y'all find her. Y'all go see what she does. Pay attention. See what she does. Check her out. We're gonna go ahead and get into the topics of the evening. So the topics for the night are online dating versus like in-person dating, like kind of like the process of that. Like, I don't know. For me, that means like what it is to like online date or how that works and like the process of what like it was or is to like in person date people or how it was or how it works. I don't really know how to explain it. And then we're talking about tonight people who don't accept your relationships when they're done. People who like to keep pushing the envelope when it's done and you've decided that it's done, but they want to keep like being like, but they're so great, but you guys are so great together. But like, listen, it's a wrap. Stop. Leave it alone. Cut it out. We're not. And the third topic was Crystle's quick tips. But we are very lucky tonight because we don't have part 2 of Crystle's quick tips. We're getting Lelouch's tips on online dating because Lelouch told me that he has a little bit of insight on the whole online dating thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for it. I wanna know his tips. Cause I heard Crystle's. I heard her tips. I did. I'm not gonna lie, some of them I was like, after I thought about it, I was like, nah, I would wait on some things, but I'm curious to hear what yours are. So let's get into our first topic. Online dating versus the whole like in-person process. Like, what is y'all view on that? Like dating sites, like, I don't know. TikTok for me is a whole dating app, and I didn't know that was what it was supposed to be or what it is. I didn't know that Facebook has a dating app. I've recently just found that out. What are y'all views on like the whole like people trying to date you through online apps versus like you went to the grocery store and somebody was like, hey, you're cute. Hey, you seem like, I could have a conversation with you. Could we change a number? Like, can we exchange numbers? Like, I would like to know, like, what's y'all's views on that? I need some help. I need y'all to like kind of give me some introspective on that.
Oh, you're tossing it to me first. The one person that's clueless about online dating. I would say that, preference is in person. I'm a little old school on that. I've done the online dating. I actually, in the early days of writing on Black Girl Nerds, I wrote a series called My So-Called Online Dating Life. And I pretty much, wrote down all of my trials and tribulations of online dating. And most of my experiences have not been positive, even though obviously people have had really great experiences and have had very fruitful relationships and have gotten married. It's just not been my experience. And the relationships that I have been in that have been kind of successful have been just like people that I've met in person, like met at a social event or a friend introduced, a friend kind of thing. So I don't know. That's kind of like my preference. But that's not to say that I would rule out online dating in the future because I'm still currently single. But yeah, that's kind of where
if I can, how long have you been single for? And 2, when you went through like your blogging, your experiences with the whole like online dating experience, like what did you get from that? Like what was it that was like, this just doesn't work for me? Like what was your experience with that?
What did I get out of online dating?
What did you get out of it? What did you not get out of it? Like what was it that was like, it's not for me? Like all of it.
Yeah. So to answer your first question, it's been a long time. It's been at least 5 years. I am in a relationship with my job. Let's just say that. As far as what do I get out of online dating? I would say I got a lot out of meeting new people. Just like, meeting new people, getting to go to different restaurants, getting to go to different places and have different experiences and stuff like that. So I think that that's kind of the cool thing about, dating and meeting a whole bunch of different people in a very short period of time. So that was, if you're going to look at it from a positive perspective, that was really what I got out of it. But, on the other side of it, what I got out of it was just like guys that were kind of, I don't know, they really, you could tell that they weren't really into wanting to be in a long-term relationship, that this was just sort of like they're on the fast track to, hooking up and moving on to the next, person that they can swipe on the app or whatever. And that's just not my jam, but yeah.
So you got to go to different restaurants, you met new people, but on the downside, it just kind of felt like it was like people who are just like kind of looking to hook up or whatever. Nobody was really interested in a long-term situation, is what you're saying.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Now, on your experience of like in person, like somebody asked you for their number in the grocery store or whatever, like what's your thoughts and views on that? That's better?
I mean, it depends on the person. It's just, I don't know. I just have a preference over a more organic experience of meeting someone, face to face. They're not putting on this sort of representation or facade of themselves online with, I don't know, maybe a filtered image of themselves, or creating this manufactured profile saying that they are all these things that maybe not always is necessarily true. And, you could arguably say that when you first meet someone that they're not really their true selves until you really get to meet them later on down the road. But I don't know, there's just something different about meeting people in person at first, as opposed to that whole online interaction. But again, that's not to say that online dating is something that is, scarred or tinged in a way. So yeah.
LaRouche?
LaLouche.
LaLouche.
I never say it right. I never do.
You can always call me O. Always okay. Always perfectly fine.
I'm glad you're so forgiving. What are your views on the whole online dating versus
I'm actually at the opposite end of the spectrum from Jamie. I prefer online, not because like I have any problems meeting people in person. It's just that I'm a person that's always been busy. Like I always find ways to make myself extremely busy. Like it's just a thing that I somehow accumulate in my life. But I'm a person that I may not always have time to be available when someone in person wants me there. But if you are, in another place, we can talk when we both have time. Yeah, you get to more. I don't know. I feel like you just get to some better conversations when you get to talk to someone directly like that, as opposed to being in person and having to read body language, then read like microaggressions and read all of that in person. You can just kind of unwind through that conversationally over time, and then have a when you do meet in person eventually, you already know that person. Like it's no like filling out process. Like I know you. Like yeah, you have to get used to me on a physical plane, but once you do, like the chemistry is already there because we established that already. So
I don't know. I feel like the point that you made to microaggressions and things of that nature, I feel like you deal with that whether you're in person or you're online with somebody, because it's still their personality, right? Like right. So whether they give that to you, like, do you feel like it's like they're more comfortable with like not being that way online as opposed to being in person, or like what do you think?
I mean, when it comes to that, like something I've always learned about people in general, not necessarily online or offline, is that you don't necessarily meet them right away. You meet their representative, meaning like you
Mm-hmm.
meet who they want you to meet. And when you have time to talk about them, you can kind of break down the difference between what they say and what it actually is. And I feel like in an online setting, like since you know it's going to be a certain amount of time before you meet that person, like it's never like you meet somebody online and you meet them that day, like unless
Right.
you're trying to do that specifically. But I mean that's a whole nother thing. I mean, I talk about that right now. I'm talking about in the relationship sense. Um, you're going to spend a long amount of time talking to this person and kind of breaking down a little bit of that. Like, I mean, there's still a lot that could be not shown because, like, you've never seen this person in person. Like, they could have been catfishing you. Like, that is a whole thing.
Right.
But you get to really get an understanding of who they are as a person, like how they speak at least when you get to talk to them for a couple of months, and then when you meet them, like I can't really say I've had a whole lot of bad experiences in person, but it's just that I'm a person that I'm stimulated more by conversation than by physical appeal. So like when I get to talk to for someone for a while, it just builds their appeal for me.
And I would agree because I'm that way. It's not necessarily the physical, it's the mental that I'm getting from you. So whether I'm in person with you getting that physical or whether I'm online getting that physical for you, because I mean, if we're talking about like online, it's like, okay, what, like we're Facebook Messenger talking, we're FaceTime talking, we're doing something where we're still looking at each other. We're just not in our physical spaces, right?
Yeah,
Like we're
yeah.
not in each other's physical presence. You're sitting right here next to me. And really, this is really for me, like as I'm sitting here listening to you guys, this is where I'm coming with it. Because I was really, I think, on a whole nother page with it before tonight. Sitting in a physical space with someone as opposed to looking like we're sitting here, we're having a conversation. None of us are in the same room,
Right.
but we're all going off of
None
the
of us in the
vibe of
same
each other.
state, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
So I don't think any of us are in the same state right now.
So we're all going off of the vibe that the other person is giving to us, right? So what really is the difference between, and I'm really like for real, like I'm in this moment, like I'm really in this moment. What's the difference between sitting with someone in your space? Do people act different when they're in your space? Like when you're really sitting right next to someone, do they act differently when they're in your space? Are they more embarrassed? Are they more excited? Are they more, clearly they would be more touch and feely, right? Because you're in your space. And then that could be a whole issue. Because listen, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like touchy feely people, and I don't know you like that. Listen, okay, if
Right.
I don't know you like that, don't touch and feel on me. Keep your hands to yourself. That's just me. But you know, what I mean, I'm just honest. That's just honestly me.
It's a
But
boundary. It's
like,
okay. Yeah.
what's like really, if we really sit down and think about it, like, what's the difference between the online dating and the like in your face physical? Where does the difference, like where do we tie the line? Where do we say this is what's what? Like, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would just say like in person versus online. Like online, like none of you guys can tell how like what size I am. Like you can't tell if I'm tall, short. Like you're just seeing me as you're seeing my face and getting how I talk. You're getting that, but you're not getting the actual physical presence of a person. Like if that makes any sense. Like the
So then
physical,
you can
like,
hide.
right?
You can hide your insecurities. You can hide,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying your insecurities, but I mean like
like
in
yeah,
the
as a
sense
person,
like
yeah.
there are, and I had this conversation with somebody who was like, if I met you in real life, there's big differences. What are the differences, BMT? I'd like to know. They were like, if I met you in real life, I would be nervous. They were like, there's certain things that I want to change about myself before meeting a person in I call it the wild. When I step outside my door, that's called the wild. Okay. When I go out into the wild, because I tell people on TikTok all the time, filters and flaws come out. Filters and flaws. Flaws I get. What kind of filters? Because, filters in this day and age are really different. Like you could look real cute on a site, and that's not really what you look like. Or are you talking about like it filters in your mouth, like what you say, how you express yourself? And so we were talking about, meeting people face to face as opposed to meeting people through the internet and whatnot, and how you can hide, right? Because you only see this little picture of someone when you're dealing with them. Sometimes, if you're not that close, like with me on TikTok, TikTok is a whole dating app. I don't know if y'all know, but TikTok is turned into a whole dating app. So when I'm talking to people on TikTok, I see this little bitty tiny circle of a person. You can click it and it gets like this much bigger.
I don't know how you feel about that, Lady J, but it's up to you.
What do you mean? Send you a link and you got time? What does that mean?
He wants to hop in the chat with us.
Do you trust it? If you trust it, listen, I heard about that night.
Yeah.
So if you trust it, I'm with you. But I'm only going on it if you trust it. That's the only reason I'll go with it if you trust it, Otis. I trust you. I trust you, so I'm gonna trust that.
Where is my phone?
So you can only see a certain thing. So I get that, right? You can hide behind things when it comes to that. But I mean, when you're really talking to somebody and conversing in that nature, it's kind of like, what's the difference? Like, where are we at with that in comparison? To me, it was kind of weird with the whole like online dating thing. I'm like you, Jamie. I've been out the game for quite a while. I am in a situation where I am in transition of moving out of traditional. I'm in transition of moving out of marriage. And so for me, it's been a very long time since I've sat down and really had like serious dates and things of that nature. That's why for me, like online dating and in person and people like asking you for your phone number, like, and you sit down and you guys have conversations and really have phone calls as opposed to online. I deal with a lot of online people who, let me get to know you, let me this, let me that, and I don't know. To me, I feel like the art of conversation is lost. And the whole online thing for me is just strange. For me, it's strange. It's strange. It feels like there are a lot of filters. There is a lot of buffer in between dating online as opposed to dating in person with people and sitting in your space and getting to know that person over the phone, the old school way, the way it used to be, if that all makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree with you. I mean, kind of to pivot a little bit, I've had experiences of meeting people that I've engaged with on social media that are completely different. So they have this bravado and they have this very kind of charismatic personality on social media, but then you meet them and they're like a wallflower. So I don't know. There's something about that online presence that you can be whoever you want to be. Yeah, keyboard so thug or whatever.
Online, I can portray that I am this type of person. I have all this money. I have all these cars. I have all this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. I do this. I do that. I'm super romantic. I'm and they're able to vocally present themselves behind the keyboard to you. But when you really get in conversation with them, it's different. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely. I mean, I've literally had those. It's not in the space of online dating, but I've had those experiences with people that, are like social media influencers that are like very, blue check mark people on Twitter. And then I meet them and I'm like, and then they're just like stuck to their phone and they're barely having a conversation with me face to face. So, it's interesting to see that kind of dynamic in person.
That's crazy.
And that's the thing, like once you are like once your job is an influencer and you have to do that, like you kind of do become like surgically attached to your phone. Like it's just like a part of your being. So you can end up like missing out on a whole outside everything because you're stuck in your phone. So I've been guilty of that myself. So
it's kind of scary. It's just like, I mean, it's one of the reasons why I've decided to kind of disconnect from Twitter personally within the last few years, because the fact that I can meet someone in person who, yes, that's great. You built a great platform on Twitter, you've got a following, you're an influencer, whatever that means these days. But but if you can't even engage with me in person and you're stuck to your phone, what does that really mean in the grand scheme of things? You know,
Hmm.
I just
But what does
there's
that
just
mean in general? I'm curious about that. Like, that's completely off topic, but like, I
yeah,
think the art of conversation is lost.
it is.
Yeah, absolutely. People do not know how to talk to each other, especially in person. Like that is
Yeah.
a skill that people have not developed. They're so used to being able to respond in text, like, "Oh, I can think about this for 4 hours, and then come back to it." Or, but when you have to really like read a person and then react properly, that's
Right.
a skill that no
That
people do not
drives
have.
me
To be honest.
flipping batty, man. Like, for
Let me
real. Like,
add
somebody told me I beat up on people
special guest
today
for me.
because when people come into my inbox and I stop asking questions, like, people like have real dry conversation, and I stop, like, when they're like, "Oh, how was your day?" "It was good. I did this instead." They're like, "Oh, that was awesome." And I don't respond. They told me that I was beating people up because I no longer respond. Why? I don't
Hmm.
want to have to pull stuff out of you. That's not fair.
'Cause
Good evening, Mr. BMT. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? What's up? How you
Nothing
doing?
much. I'm ready to hear what is it that you had this what is it that you'd like to share?
Um, I guess we're in the metaversal age of social media relationships more than actual physical interactions. Um, it's been a lot more of trauma, connectivity more than actual relationships. People looking for I look for what suits me or what's affordable of my needs rather than actually something that can actually I can build with to suit
Mm.
my life. Like and we're seeing this nowadays where I met this person, I thought they were this way, there's the filter. But you thought what you were seeing or dealing with. I've
Hmm.
been there. I've done the POF dating. I've done the Tumblr. I've done the hookup meetup. Hey girl, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. And all that good stuff. And then when life meets, when reality and life hits together, you know what I'm saying? I can say on one thing, then me and Miss J go out on a dinner. Okay. Now she starts talking about her life, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if I can actually do that. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Or a situation might happen for V. He might be talking to a female. She's like, he's thinking that she's a goddess or something. But then she started saying stuff that he's like, oh, I can't bring you around my family because you go against what I stand for. These kind of things happen, and people say, you know what? Let me see if I can run the gauntlet and keep it going. Where guys knowingly go after women because they'll look and listen to the flaws of if the black nerd girls give off, hey, I like to play video games and do X, Y, and Z. So do I. Why don't you come on and play with me? But then also he's trying to get a booty call hookup. Versus I just want to play video games. You might have it where some guys, they're trying to find that woman, but she's actually just running your pockets. You know what I'm saying? These things we're looking at real time every day of the filters that happen. And we're watching a lot of trauma bonding. This is why I don't listen to the Derek Jacksons, the lot of stuff. I've
Oh
been on these
yeah.
panels with a lot of these people. I think I've been on YouTube for like 8 years. And I can tell you it's a vicious cycle because right now people thought the 90s relationship, Martin and Gina, whatever type of relationship it was going to be, different world. They thought, well, that's how it has to be. You know, just like how they did it, we can do the same thing. Nah, B, it's totally different. And so now we're in a cycle where everybody's trying to feel the way in the dark. So I understand when Lady J is like, hey, I'm moving away from that traditional because traditional might not be working on paper for some people like they think it is. What grandma and granddaddy did, when they saw that nice little Facebook video of we've been together for 50 years, we ain't in that timeline anymore. We in the digital era where you go to Walmart, but you actually stopping at the liquor store to talk to Bae. That, hey, I can see where you at. I can see where you at. You know what I'm saying? We nowadays everything's quick. It's a quick hot meal. You know what I'm saying? Well, you need I got a phone. I can replace you, and that's very plausible. So we definitely in a different era of the dating scheme where it's getting pretty rough right now for men and women. You know what I'm saying? Women can't find out who is somebody that's going to ride out the storm with them, while men are trying to find somebody who's actually willing to actually sit it out and build with them. So we're definitely in a different timeline that we're pretty much trying to maneuver ourselves through. So that's what I mean by the filters are real. I get everybody got their guard up now. Ain't nobody trying to drop that for nobody. You know what I'm saying?
That is a fact. That's a whole fact. It's actually a process of breaking down someone's guard. Like even once you do meet them, like a very long process until you actually get to the person that's really there. So you are 100% right with that, man.
I watch it happen. Fun fact: I want y'all ladies to try this. In the morning, I want y'all to put on Facebook. I wish I could have a man just say, "I love you, beautiful."
Nope.
Watch.
I'm good.
Why?
Okay, so I'm real big on so the beautiful part is what killed me, because people are so caught up in the aesthetic of a person. Like people are so caught up in the aesthetic of a person, and the thing about it is I get hit by a bus tomorrow, and I'm not gonna look the way I look. So I don't particularly care if you love me for being beautiful. I could care less. I want you to be interested in how intelligent I am. I want you to be like amazed by my vibe and how much I care about people and things of that nature. For me, people are so caught up in this aesthetic. People are caught up in the idea of wanting to be with somebody. People don't even want a relationship to be in a relationship for the long haul anymore. People just want to be in relationships just to be in flipping relationships. That's what I'm finding.
Post. They just wanted to so they could post it on the gram or on Facebook.
I just want to say I'm with somebody.
Yeah,
that's a mixed bag, V. Because you know what? And I ain't gonna tell on. I'm not gonna tell on us as men or women now.
No, go ahead. Tell on women and men.
I'm not telling everything.
Tell on men and women. Go ahead. I'm ready. What is this show called?
But now
Lie to yourself, not me. Real talk with Lady J.
But now we have it where it's called sneaky leaks, and I learned this from the females. Sorry, y'all put that out there on Instagram, the sneaky leaks, and I'm like,
no, I didn't put shit out there on Instagram.
I don't even know what that is.
Sneaky links.
So the sneaky leaks are pretty much the side bae for the female. She keeps track of him and what he do. He might go cut someone on the side while she actually has her life. Now she don't post you. She don't ever give you no thumbs up, no hearts, no nothing. In other words, we don't even know y'all too official.
Okay.
But however, y'all doing what y'all do. He can't go to no other female because he's digging it out with you. But however, you won't claim him openly. But now we also had it where the female say, how can y'all get mad at us? Y'all don't even show pictures of your girl on social media. So how's it mad? See, it's a tit for tat now. But now the girls got the sneaky leaks where some fellas, one of my boys, I didn't even know he was in a relationship for 2 months. Never seen a picture of his girl. Never seen a picture of girl. I just thought that was a girl at work. I was like, I asked her, what are you doing? What are you doing here with us at Olive Garden? Oh, we've been dating. Oh, y'all just started? Sean. I'm like, yeah, Sean.
You bust him out like that?
No, I didn't bust him out, but I didn't know who he was.
Yes, you did. You bust him out. That was a bust. That was a whole bust out, just so you know.
No. First of all, the code of the bros, you always tell the bros who the new player on the field is, so that way we can all be on cue.
Why do y'all have a code? It's a code. It's a code, Otis.
Yeah, for sure it is. Of course it is.
We ain't gonna tell you all the code. Y'all the enemy. You can't tell y'all.
I don't have a code. I don't play these games.
Oh, y'all got a code. Y'all sisters got.
I don't have a code. I don't play these games. Games, tricks are for kids. Tricks are for kids. I don't play these games.
Women have codes. Y'all have codes.
I don't have a code. Jamie, you got a code?
I do not.
We see. We're the hybrid versions. We don't have codes.
Okay.
We don't play games. Tricks are for kids.
Bros got codes. Bros got codes.
What kind of mess is this?
That's a good bro. That's a good bro.
That's a good bro. So good bro hides the underhanded stuff. That's what you tell me.
Said y'all front.
That's my.
I really.
Thank you.
If I have a code, I don't know what it is. Honestly.
Me neither. I don't know the code neither.
If he told me, Joe, I was with you, I got you, bro. I got you. Say less.
Maybe I need a code. Maybe that's the reason why I haven't dated in years.
Yes.
What you mean, cut it out? No, don't cut it out, Lady J. I don't have a code.
Codes. V says, yo, bro, I need a wingman. I got you, bro. I'm going with my boy. I don't have to ask no question. If he knows he's going out with a good chick, he said, listen now, she's bringing her friend. She just get through a breakup. I said, oh, damn, I'm going to be dealing with damaged Betty. All right.
Nope, no girl codes. I don't know who Facebook user is, but no girl codes.
But I know that he can't go with that woman unless she brings her friend, which I don't know why women like bringing their tail in. So he gonna say,
"That's a security thing."
BMT, I need you to come out. Oh, so you ain't gonna leave your girl behind? Which that's your code. So you gonna bring her along?
That actually is girl code right there.
That's girl code. So guess what? So I'm gonna say, you know what, V, I got your back, bro. For you to get your win, I'm gonna take one for
I'm not lying to myself.
I'm gonna go take one. Because y'all took y'all girl along with y'all sometime, haven't y'all?
Listen, fun fact. I go out by myself.
Okay. So none of y'all ever did. None of y'all ever.
No, I'm just saying I can go out with myself and I'm good.
If I'm meeting a guy for the first time and I'm not feeling, secure about the situation, like if we were talking online and then I'm meeting him for the first time in person, yeah, I'll bring my friend with me, but that's a security thing. That's not like a code.
Oh, heck no. I don't go. Listen, if I'm about to meet somebody for the first time, we're about to go somewhere in the daytime where it's a whole lot of folks, where you can't snatch me up and put me in no van later. Okay. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, I did that. Why? There was this guy that was he was a DJ at a radio station, and we were talking, and I guess kind of well known. And I brought my friend with me to the radio station where he worked. Like, even though that was like, I guess, a secure place, I still brought my friend with me because I'm like, I don't know this guy. Even though he was a very well-known personality locally in my town, I still don't know him. So I think it's more of a security thing for most women, at least for me, when we bring our girl along.
I've done some things for the bros to make sure at least one of us get a win. I've done a lot of things for the bros so that way one of us get a win. I have. But that's a bro code. We got to get a win. Even if I got to
get a win.
That sounds like a song.
It
right.
is.
It probably is. It
probably is a song.
Like we're making up a song right now on the podcast. We got a song. We about to get
Where's
a
Mike?
song.
Where's Mike? He's supposed to be here to do the beat.
Right, so he can mix it up and throw some what you call it in there. I don't know about this bro code. So ultimately, what is your thoughts on online dating versus in-person dating? BMT.
I've done both, but I've ultimately, I prefer up close and personal. Like but I got to see you in situational performance. Like that online.
But
thing,
that's like in time. Got that.
I give you about 2 weeks at most. Listen, that's cute. Just like I grew up back in the day where we used to do that texting and phone call. Aisha, what you doing on the phone? Hey, After 2 weeks, you know what I'm doing? Let me go brush up the profile because you're wasting my time. And
Okay, so I need to know, like, because for me, I feel like everything is like microwavable in this day and age of dating. So you're saying you give somebody 2 weeks and that's like it. Otis, from what I heard from you earlier, it sounds like you kind of need more time, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna let you answer to that.
Usually.
Jamie,
Like, I mean, wait, 2 weeks for what? Wait, what specifically? 2 weeks for
Yeah.
what?
like 2 weeks for us to meet up, or like we got to start like going out to go like start like, hey, like you want to go out for coffee? You want to go out for a brunch?
Yeah.
You want to go out for something? Like, listen,
Hey, bye.
this is initial conference talk. Okay, you're filling out your 90-day resume. After that, when you start telling me how you are, and then we do the initial sit down, you know, hey, I like to do, you know, we could try Japanese, we could try some steak. Now we're actually sitting down. We can go for a walk on the boardwalk, different kind of things to actually get more of a feel, see how we are with spending out in public, different other stuff. Now, if you're saying no, I need more time now, okay, why? Now I understand if you got a child, but some people do have family, cool.
Yeah.
Say it is for what it is. But if it's something where as to, okay, now I see you constantly uploading stuff on your social media where you're doing things, but we're not doing anything.
But
So,
what does someone uploading something on their social media have to do with you meeting up with them?
because we're doing we're doing the initial talk, right?
Okay.
Okay. You've already told me who you are online. I told you who
Okay.
I am. All right.
Okay.
We can now do the initial sit down conversation face to face. The minute I start seeing you pull up your phone and start doing this while we're talking, I'm done. Because now I know, listen, we could have done this over goddamn Skype. Zoom.
And that's understandable. And that's understandable because I feel like, so I'm real big on time. I'm very big on time. I talk about time all the time on my TikTok lives, on just in life, in the wild, whatever. Time is important. So if somebody comes to spend time with you, somebody is giving you their time, then yes, absolutely. If I'm sitting with someone and you see me pull up my phone, I'm gonna let you know, yo, this is business. And if I'm with you during my business hours, I'm gonna let you know, yo, this is for cake. Nope, this is for cake. This is for business. Please forgive me. Give me a second. Let me let them know that I'm doing something right now, and I will hit you back when I can. I'm not gonna sit up there and discuss a whole business order while I'm sitting there and I've set a slot of time for you apart. But I absolutely will answer that situation. I will absolutely let them know that, hey, I have to do this because that's my money. You're not about to pay these bills. You're not about to fund these cakes. So give me a second. Let me let them know, hey, I'll deal with you as soon as I'm done in whatever it is I have going on. But I'm not going to sit up there and be like, oh, somebody hit me on TikTok. Somebody hit me on Instagram. So it is what it is. Jamie, I'd like to know from you. Because you said you have a little bit, you don't have a lot of time, right? Left, you're almost out. What is your time frame? Yeah, G Baby said hi. Who was that? Who said that?
I don't know. I thought that was one of you guys.
It is one of mine. It's one of my, I don't know. Oh, that's my daughter, my oldest grandson. She's saying he says hi. Sorry.
Oh.
So, for you, my G Baby, I love him so much. Do you have like a time frame on like, okay, it's got to be like 2 weeks, it's got to be like a month, like where do you fall in that spectrum? I'm curious. Am I the only old school person?
No, I'm old school too. It's got to be at least 2 weeks, preferably a month. I need time. I need to get to know the person. I mean, not to bring a downer on this, but that case with the poor girl that was on the Bumble app that met the guy in like 3 days and was killed, you gotta give some time. And that's not to say if you talk to someone in a month, that same situation couldn't happen, but still it's like, you got to give yourself some time to get to know these people when you're communicating with them, so you can get some sense of where those red flags may be. You may not detect those red flags in 3 days. So I need at least 2 weeks, but preferably a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that. I can get that. But there's a lot of weirdos out there these days. There's a lot of that stuff going on. So I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
So you can understand that for women, because I mean, think about it. For us, we like, let's just be honest. Like, everybody likes to be like, oh, we're all equal, this, that, and the other. But like, if we on a date with a dude who's stronger than us, we can't manhandle nobody up off of us. So we need to feel comfortable. We need to feel safe. We need to feel okay in a situation with somebody before we just like jump out and be like, hey, okay, let's go. Hey, let's meet up. Let's have some conversations. Let's have some, especially when you talk about some, let's have some cocktails.
Yeah.
Now, I get you that. Like, this is why I try to do the. I always tell a lot of fellas, if you can help it, stay away from alcohol on the first meetup. Stay away from alcohol. You want the person to be coherent, and we in an era where we're in an era with sensual stuff. You know, it gets pretty rocky now. So I try to tell fellas, unless you know that woman, you know her. And then, hey, we already know some girls, they can play the game too. But fellas, more so likely, you want to keep her sober up, because literally she was like, oh, I didn't really want to have sex with you. Hey, there is no statute of limitation on coming back at y'all. I'm sorry, black men. Hey, bro, I'm just being honest.
That is a whole fact.
So I would just tell you, if I tell my boys and I tell my sons, anybody, if you can stay away from the alcohol for a while, try to wean it out. You know what I'm saying? Try going off roller skating. Try doing fun events that, you know, I'm throwing out stuff in the universe that literally there's no pressure. You know what I'm saying? That if you can have it, sometimes I try to tell people, hey, do you want to take your car and I take my car? Now, one person, well, why can't I drive your vehicle? Why can't I drive your vehicle? And I'm like, because I learned about this. I guess it's called date grape, where some women, they feel pressure because they're in the guy's vehicle. I'm learning as a black man. They feel pressure when they're in the guy's vehicle that if I don't comply with him, it can go really south. I live in the South, so I know what it's like when you ride on certain interstates and the roads. And, you know, we had, when I was in the military, we had a prosecutor man for that, but he would take girls out on a date, and if they didn't want to play with him, he would put them out there on the road. I say, hey, bro, you're going to jail, because that's assault. That literally is what you're bragging off. So this is why I tell my daughter the same thing. Hey, Lady Jamie, if you can drive your car, or if you feel like you drunk too much, hey, call me. I'll come get you. We'll come get you. I get why they travel in pairs sometime, or they say, I'll take my vehicle. It's not a diss to us fellas. It's just that they're just putting up, I don't know you like that. So, you know, we in 2022, and the same thing for fellas. I wouldn't tell you to stay at a woman's house. I did that one time. Woke up. BMT, wake up. My baby daddy's home. The fuck? Your baby daddy's home? I thought it just said it was you. Oh, no. He's my roommate. This ain't about being no R. Kelly trapped in the closet. So I'm just trying to let you know, you don't know people's real situation until you really get into that.
Right, you're absolutely right, Brody. To go back to Craig's first comment, I am that person. I am that person where I am a horrific texter, but I'm pretty dope in person. Like I will say that I'm pretty dope. I'm pretty dope. Net Monk High. But yeah, that is for sure considered assault, and I've seen too many cases where a guy thought that they were good because the situation went one way in his head, and he ended up in jail the next day. So be very, 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 very careful with that. But to kind of go off of everything everyone's been saying, like I do think it is very important to feel comfortable with somebody, whether you meet them online or in person. Like, build up a level of comfortability with that person before you meet them exclusively. That just makes sense, because even if you meet that person, you don't know they're a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? You
Nope.
don't know what they got going on
Right.
when they go home. So like, yeah, you should absolutely at least spend 2 weeks trying to get to know that person from a distance before you put yourself into that situation. It's like, because in 2 weeks you can filter through a lot of bullshit. Like, just being real, like,
You can,
okay,
but you
that
can't
sounds
at the same time.
yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest. Like,
Right.
people be putting on these masks real good sometimes. So I get it. I'm just gonna say
yeah,
public
But
places.
what's the rush? It's like, what? I mean, like I said, preferably a month. 30 days is really not that long of a period of time. It's really not. So, like, especially if you've got other things going on in your life, you know, and you're casually talking to this person every now and then, or an hour out of your day or whatever. So, like, what's the rush where you got to meet someone, you know,
Jamie,
before the 2 weeks?
No question. How much as a man should I put out in the 30 days? How much into the universe should I put into Jamie's universe?
What does that question mean?
What do you mean? Yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, put out what, financially? Like, of your time, of your mind, of your emotion? Okay. Like,
now, as me as a fella, I'm just thinking, I can't speak for V. You know, how much, if there's no rush, how often do I need to text you? How often do I need to set up for us to go out on brunches, meetups? If you're saying there's no rush, how much energy should I put? If you're saying like, hey, man, like,
that is a whole fact.
Yeah, like, how much energy do I need to put into true break? Like,
you're making it sound more complicated than it has to be.
No. See, but here's the thing about it. I'm thinking from a guy. See, I'm thinking as a man. So you're saying I'm trying to complicate it, but I get V understand what I'm saying. Like, as a fella,
do you understand him, V?
I'm trying to put out how much
energy. I'd like to know. Well, so here's my thing. I when people say, no, this person understands, I want to know, like, do you see it in the same, maybe you do, maybe you don't, maybe you see it differently. And I don't want you to feel uncomfortable about answering, but do you see it in the very same light that he sees it in?
Not necessarily. Well, yeah, yes and no, but to a different parallel. Let me explain. Like, so in a month span, if we are not constantly talking, like, if I'm not, like, I'm a busy person. I meet a lot of people on a daily basis. I can legit forget somebody in a month. Like, not even trying to be an asshole, but like,
no, you can't.
The conversation isn't like where I need it to be, I can legit forget that you exist in a month. So
I agree.
Then that depends on the, I guess, the kind of like how you guys are engaging. Like, are you talking to multiple people at the same time, or are you exclusively talking to that person? Because if you're exclusively talking to them, then you wouldn't. But if you're talking to multiple people, then I can understand how that's a thing. In which case, why would you be in a rush to meet them if you're talking to multiple people?
But I don't even think it's talking to multiple people. I think it's just depending on what you do. So from what I know of Lalouche, Otis, I don't know what we can call him, but V, what I know of him, I know that he's a busy guy. He works. He is a owner of podcasting, multiple streams of it. So forgetting someone in a month to me that's not uncommon. Because I talk to a lot of people in a month's time, and I forget people. I'm a baker. I'm a mother. I'm running multiple sites. I can understand how you can forget a person. Now, this is how you forget a person, in my personal opinion. If you're talking to someone and they have no conversation, you don't think about that person, because it's like, oh, hey, how was your day? It was good. How was your day? It was okay.
Now you gotta
and then that's it. Like, if I have to pull a bunch of stuff out of you just to have a conversation in a month's time, I don't remember you. There's nothing to remember about you. Now, if I meet a person who is like, hey, Hey, Lady J, how are you? What's going on? Nothing much. Well, what's going on with your business? What's going on with your kids? What's going on with this? Oh, well, I've been doing this, that, and the other. How's your podcast going? My podcast, it's been going really good. Like, I had like BMT on there. I wasn't expecting it. I had Jamie on there. She was real cool. Like, Otis was on. We had these good conversations. And then we go talking into that, and they talk back to me. In a month's time, I remember you. Because we had good conversation. So in everything else that I have going on, kids, business, podcasting, trying to hold open networks to everything else, I can remember you. People who don't have no conversation. Oh, wait, who is that? Wait, scroll. Oh, what were we talking about?
Go back and remember the conversation.
Scroll.
Yes.
Oh, you was trying to get me on WhatsApp. Yeah, you're a scammer. Okay, yeah, get out of here. like I don't remember you. So I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with the number of people you're talking to. I think it comes to a situation where, what are we talking about? What
that would be a case where I would
having?
Yeah, I'll say this, and now I'll have to jump off soon, but that would be a case for me where I wouldn't have any motive to want to even meet them. Like, if you're not engaging my mind to the point where, like you said, V, like you forget about them, then I'd be like, well, okay, I would very delicately, in a very nice way, just kind of disconnect from that person and then move on to someone else.
Yeah. Y'all all potentially agree with me, because that's what I'm saying. Like, when I tell y'all, listen, man, like, my universe is my universe. I run multiple companies, and I run multiple channels. Like, right now, we're selling a channel right now, and we're like expanding into trucking now. I can tell you right now, like, I'm the type of person where if I know, let's say Jay owns a bakery, I'm the type of guy, I'm going to probably order something from her bakery and say, well, thanks, love, I got your stuff. She's gonna be like, oh wow, he's actually taking interest. I'm the type of person, I don't mind stopping by. Hey, you want to go get a brunch? Like, I'm going to do things. See how much, because my time and your time is valuable. How much do you want me to invest in from my time, my world, into you? Because that's an investment. This is what I say when you're investing in somebody. Okay,
time is an investment.
If it's something where I just want us just a text, okay, cool, I'll leave us as a text. But then you can't feel no type of way. Hey, like, you're not texting me. I'm not playing chase. I put into what we both put into this. We're going to invest in each other. There's no investing in each other. If I'm 80% texting you, and all you get is LOL or some shit like that, hey, bro, don't look for me. Look for Jesus, because I'm not chasing. So I'm just keeping it a buck. So I said, how much do you want me to invest in your universe? Your time is precious. My time is precious. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I want to go do things. Do you want to come in? Well, I got the kids. I got you. Do you want me to give you some money for a babysitter? You know what I'm saying? So that way, maybe you can go for a walk through the mall, or just go look at some stuff. You want to go to Burlington Coat Factory? I like to do things to show, hey, what's good? Are we going to try to make something or not? If we're not, I don't want to waste your time. I'm very straightforward. If there's nothing where let's take it slow to a crawl, then baby, I might not be what's going on on TVA, then I might not be at your speed. We're grown adults. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to tell me, you don't have to string me along. I'm not going to string you along. Either we got something that we looking at trying to do or not. That's why I'm for you. Tell me it is what it is, as I'm a man and you're a woman. And if it ain't that, put me down, put me back on the shelf, and I leave you alone.
But I don't think you can, in my personal opinion, I don't think that's something you can just come across in a week. Like, you're speed dating at that point. Like, you're flipping speed dating at that point. If you know in a week's time that's not enough, you're speed dating in my mind. Okay. And maybe I'm rusty. Mm-hmm. I've been out the game for a minute.
That's fair.
But to me, If you know within a week's time, like, okay, so here we go. If we're talking about conversation, right? People have dry conversation. People got dry ass conversation. You ain't got nothing to say. Yes. In a week's time, you already know. I can't. I'm not doing it.
Before you go, Jamie, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Lady J. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
I hope to definitely talk to you more because you are an amazing person. And
thanks.
Thank you for coming here.
Nice to meet you, Jamie.
Nice to meet you guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, lady. Y'all go follow her. Black Girl Nerds. Y'all go find her. If you have dry conversation, then yes, absolutely. I get it. Yes. In a week's time, listen, in 5 minutes of time, you can tell sometimes with somebody, this dry conversation, this not gonna work. I'm not gonna do this. This is not where I'm gonna be at. But sometimes you have people who don't communicate as well. But I don't think like a week's time is enough time to be like, you know what? I don't know if I really want to put no more time into this. Not in every situation. I don't think anything's that black or white.
True. You're a boss, right? You're a boss of your
Give me before we go into me being a boss. V, how much time we got?
We got 14 minutes. No, I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong time. We have 11 minutes. 11 minutes.
Okay, let's try to because we're not gonna get to all topics. We're gonna have to come back and revisit.
Okay, so is it wrong for us when we're sitting down with somebody to tell what we would like to see or what our vision of where we plan to go? Is it wrong to say that?
Not in the right timing. If you tell me that within a week's time, for me, that's scary because I'm like, you don't even know me that well. Like,
see, nobody, I don't mean by like, well, but in 2 months I plan on being married. Nobody, that's some weird stuff. That's some kind of stuff.
But, you'd be surprised at the things that I deal with.
See, that's a red flag. That's why I like to do the initial. That's why I like to meet up. That's why I like to have the conversation. But if I'm literally talking with you, you see me putting in the time. You see me actually saying, "Hey, I take a time off of my work. Hey, you know, I want to let's go do something." No, I just want to go home. No, I just want to go. No, you know what, Bill, you go home. Then that one day you do call me, I'm not coming. I tried. You know what I'm saying? I did try. I put forth the effort. Just like I know some women, they try over and over and over, and they waste their time because women have their time clock with a man. Hey, I tried with you. You didn't see my relevancy. Hey, I'm going on to the next one. So,
and I understand that. I 1000% agree with you. I do think that a lot of times people are in situations with people and they miss the mark. They miss the fact that someone is putting in that effort. Someone is giving that time to them. They're giving exactly everything that you've been asking me for, everything that you've been telling me you want, I'm giving it to you, and you missing it because you still overreaching. You still looking for something else. So I get that. I understand. I'm real big on time. So it's like, I hear what you're saying. For me, that scenario that you're getting for me, that means a lot to me. I can't speak for nobody else, but that means a lot for me. But I do understand how saying you're not going to chase equates to zero interaction. Women, I know, need to feel wanted and see the consistency. Ooh, that consistency is something for me. However, mushroom they get, you have to show it. Yes, I'm real big on consistency. So I do hear what you're saying, and yes, that is important. It is. It's very important. All that you're saying, all that you're talking about, yes, it does mean a lot. But the thing about it is we have to get to the space where we're giving all of that to the people that deserve it, right? Because a lot of times we spend a lot of time giving all of what we have, our consistency, our amazingness, to people who don't deserve it. You got to give it to who is deserving of it, in my personal opinion. And I'm not an expert at anything. I say that all the time. You got to know who needs it and who doesn't.
But you got experience. And you got experience. And I felt V. That's why I said when V said, "Hey, I could forget you in a day," you know what I'm saying? And I understood him. Just like when you said, hey, you're a busy person.
Thank
You have a lot of things going for you as a woman. He has a lot of things going for him as a man. I got a lot of things going on for me. So don't waste my time. If you're interested, you're interested. If you're not, and you ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not even locking you in my phone. You just a number. Scroll on down.
The facts.
I don't even lock you in the phone.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't locked a whole lot of people on my phone. I'm not gonna lie.
I got a lot of people on my phone that I still don't even know who they are when they be calling. I be like, who are you?
I know who they are, but like they ain't locked in. I know, but they know who they are.
I be faking it. I be like,
oh,
yeah, hallelujah, grandma, mama, who's this right now?
But I mean, I can't say, like, when it comes to like forgetting, like that's depending on how they come to me though. Like if someone's coming to me on a dating tip, like even before, because I'm in a relationship now, but like even before I was in a relationship, like I was a person that prioritizes business over that anyway. So like you come to me talking business, then like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember you. Like that a connection is like known. But if you're just talking to you like trying to date or trying to do other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I am aware of your existence, but it's less on my scale of priorities, honestly.
Again, for me, you got to give me some good conversation for me to like really be like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
You like mental stimulation. You like talking about mental stimulation.
I love mental stimulation. Like I need you to touch my mind before you touch my body. I'm just saying. It is what it is.
Hey, to each is their own. I don't have a problem with that, because that's the fun ones, That's the fun ones to deal with.
The fun ones. I'm fun. I'm a fun one, y'all. Y'all heard that?
That's the fun ones.
Bring it around.
Because like I think we're in the age now, and I always tell people this, like after the sex, after you all done got the money and everything, what's after that? What's after that? Literally. And I'm
if I can't have no conversation with you after all of that, then what? We're just sitting there looking at each other looking stupid. So now what?
And then like even a step beyond the conversation, like you have to be able to exist in the space without a person without having a conversation, because like sometimes you're not gonna have the thing to say to hold it.
You do?
No, it's levels to it. It's levels to it for sure.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, we are coming up on the end of our time. I had an amazing time with you guys. Thank you, BMT, for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm going to have you on another time. We're gonna come back to this. We're going to come back to this.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to this. We're going to revisit this. We're going to re-talk about this if you're willing to come back on, because I enjoyed myself. But we're coming up on the end of our time. And so I want to go ahead and get everybody, where can we find everybody at? And then we'll be back next week. We didn't get to hit all of our topics this week, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll come back on another day. Next weekend is, I think, before Valentine's weekend, and we're going to do a Valentine's show. We're going to talk about Valentine's. I don't have any ideas about what I think about Valentine's, but we'll talk about it when the time comes.
Hallmark holiday.
We'll get to you said what?
Hallmark holiday, but we'll get to it.
Funk Hallmark holiday, but we'll get to it. We will. Absolutely. Mr. V, how can we find you?
You can find me at Butterproof Entertainment, Butterproof Gaming. On Instagram, it's the Loosh.v instead of the underscore. Somebody beat me to that one. I was kind of upset, but it's cool. Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of ways to reach him. He doesn't. Mr. BMT, is there a way that we can find you? Do you want to be found? Are you trying to stay like hidden under a rock? Like what you got going on? You're not trying to have nobody find you. You just like living secretly. Like, do you want to let us know how we can get in contact with you?
I wish I couldn't be found. Everybody, it's easy to find me. I'm BMT, Business Minded Talk or Black Male Talk. I'm one of the CEOs of BBN, as well as 5 other a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. If you want to find me, one of my easier channels to find is BMT. I'll easily drop the link in the back chat, and definitely if ever y'all come by, I'll make sure I rent y'all up, and y'all can always pull pull up anytime y'all want on any conversation. I just finished talking about a few other things. I talk about everything. There's nothing unscripted that I can't talk about, from the Nicki Minaj to the Kevin Samuels to the Whoopi Goldberg. I talk about everything. We're just now hitting 24.k on one channel, so
Congrats.
we're definitely pulling hard, and I really want to sabotage my career, but my team won't let me quit. So hopefully they will. I've been literally trying to sabotage. This is actually one of my favorite networks, is watching you guys talk. I actually enjoy watching talk. I actually do. So I told Blur I'm going to be supporting them 120%, because y'all push the mental, the grain of Black people can talk about everything from relationships to gaming to sex to love to raising families to how to run a business, all that. I love everything y'all do, and y'all do it sexy. Y'all do it very classy, and y'all don't do it where y'all have to attack and destroy it. So we need more. We need more of this imagery. We need more of this. We need this more. So shout out to the Blur family for y'all putting this together.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I know I love that. Bring it around town. Bring it around town.
Yeah.
Y'all know I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of that. That was, I love that. Thank you. Y'all know how y'all can find me, because y'all know TikTok lives in my brain. I am Lady J1111 on TikTok. TikTok runs my mind. And then you have me with my business pages. With Instagram, you have me _J's_delights, decadent_delights. Then with my Facebook page, you have me on J's Decadent Delights. And then they don't have it up yet, but that's okay. You can find me on YouTube under Lady J. Thank y'all again for joining us. I had an awesome night with my special surprise guest, even though I didn't have my normal guest this evening, my normal co-host, Otis, Mr. V, Mr. LaLouche. You did awesome. Thank you for joining me.
I'm glad to be here.
I always love when you bless me with your presence. Thank you so very much. I had a good time with you tonight, and I think this was an amazing show. Thank y'all for joining us on this Friday. Thank y'all for taking your time. Time is important to me. It means a lot. So thank y'all. We appreciate it. We hope you have a good night. And y'all better come back next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll see y'all next Friday. Have a good night, y'all. We out.